I've been documenting my life for the past year and I've created a total of 44 videos, and over the time I've got much better at it. I know if you clicked on this video, you want to start creating videos but don't know where to start, or already making videos. So today I'm sharing the complete beginner friendly guide I wish I had when I started. Let's get into it.
Oh, hey. So, my first tip is to create a killer intro. In the first 30 seconds of the video, it's very important to catch a viewer's attention by utilizing unique shots. And that's what I did. I used this bag, for example, just to create this nice POV shot. So this brings me to my next point, using a variety of different angles and shots. Switching up the shooting angle is a great way to keep the viewer's attention, keep the pacing of the video going. Speaking of which, this shot is great, and the way I got the shot is by using the wide lens, because the wide lens is giving the vlog type of feeling, whereas compressed shots like this give a much more cinematic feeling of the whole picture. And for this shot, for example, I used my Tamron 17-70 f2.8, which is a great lens. Both of them have their own times, you know, when you use this one or this one. I mainly use my 10-18 for vlogging and this one just to capture cinematic B-roll. But this one brings me actually to my next point, which is capturing good audio. It doesn't matter how good your quality of your video lens, camera lenses, whatever. If you don't capture good audio, then the video is just not watchable. So that's why there are so many different brands to take audio from like distance like this, or close-ups. What I use is the DJI Mic 2 with the transmitter here, and I just sync the audio basically in post-production with the devices I film with. I mainly film with my Sony camera, which is the one that I'm filming on right now, but I also have my good old iPhone 15 Pro, which I am actually using way more than I used to, because it's way more convenient, it's way easier, less friction to just pull it out of your pocket, film. It has a wide lens, it has a close lens, it has everything you need, it's right there, and it also takes great audio. But if you don't have the money for the gear at that point, just go with your iPhone and get a nice microphone. This one right here, for example, is a way cheaper alternative to all the other wireless mic kits. It's a Rode video microphone. I think I got it on Amazon for 20 euros or something, which you can just put on the top of the camera, plug it in, it records the audio automatically on your camera and it captures the voice. But you just have to be careful because it will only capture the voice that is coming this way. I don't have the professional terms for that. But if you're standing behind the camera, your voice is not gonna sound as good. But it's pretty convenient to just have it on top of your camera, have it like a vlog, and then you just la 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 la. You get what I mean. So this brings me also to another very important point, which is gonna elevate the way your YouTube videos look like. It's lighting. So right now I don't have any artificial lighting. I just have this window where the natural sunlight is coming from, and then here it gives me the cinematic look because of the shadow. And that's totally fine as long as you have a window, just sit close to it so you get like this nice cinematic view, or just go outside in the morning, especially it's the best. During daytime it's pretty harsh light, so it's not gonna give you the nice shadows and stuff, but that's totally fine, don't overthink it. But honestly speaking, I myself have not the money to spend on those expensive lighting gear, but I just know lighting is key and essential, and there are many ways to elevate with like little desk lamps and stuff to create a certain atmosphere. So yeah, lighting key. Most of the time you're gonna be filming by yourself, and this is where we solo creators have to use help, such as tripods. This is my favorite travel tripod. It's a Sirui carbon tripod. It's super light. I bought it for myself when I went to Japan for traveling, because the last thing you want is have heavy and bulky gear with you. And this one is crazy good because it folds up to like this type of size, and it weighs less than a kilogram, I think. So you can just hold it like this, and then, And I also bought this one on top of it. It's like it's like a quick release plate by PGY-Tech. So every time you just want to swap your gear, you just swap it like that. And another essential for me is this one, this little thing. This is the PGY Mantis Pod Pro. The cool thing about this one is it has this cool hook, which you can hook onto something and get like cool shots, but just make sure that you have the surface which can the hook rely on. And it also has this quick release plate, which I really am a big fan of. The last thing, again, what you want is have friction to get your ideas to life. If you have an idea, you want to get to shoot something, you just click release and then swap. Super small, simple, and you can bring it just literally everywhere. I put it usually in my backpack. Yeah, this is my favorite POV shot type of tool. This is a small rig, magic arm from small rig. Right now I have a phone attachment, but you can also attach like a quick release plate, which I just showed you. Or just, if you don't have neither of those, you can just manually put it on. That also works. But in this one, you can get like those cool POV shots, which I got at the beginning at the top. Or just anything else. You can just make it look like you attach something to it, and then looks like the camera is attached to the object, which gives you those nice POV shots. So let's say you have all the gear you need, you have everything you want to start, now you're ready to shoot the video. There's something that comes in between. How do you get those ideas and how do you do pre-production? And this is where a little bit of pre-production can get you a long, long way. I'm really no one who likes to plan every single thing out there. People who like to script out the things they want to do, the exact time, the daytime, everything. I'm the exact opposite. But I realized a little bit of pre-planning can just really help you a lot. So in this case, what I do is, first of all, get off of social media. The more you compare yourself, the more you look for inspiration, the less you, the more you will overthink and you won't start. Like, this is the most crucial thing. And after that, I like to keep an idea notebook like this one. This is especially designated for YouTube. It looks horrible. Nothing really says something. It's just a brain dump of me, things that I wanted to include in this video. And after that, I just jot it down on my Notion template or whichever you use, whichever you're comfortable with. Don't overthink it. Just jot it down somewhere, which lenses you want to use. For example, the wide lens for the intro to establish a shot, and then, make it smooth transition where you have, for example, if I do this and then do the same movement with a different camera angle, I'm gonna have this transition. And also just write down a few words you want to say, or not just words, like just quote unquote, but like just the message you want to say, or also which angles you want to use, like POV shot, just to get the basic video structure going. So now everything is out of the way, let's start editing. I'm gonna give you guys some tips. So let's say you shot everything you wanted and now it's time for the editing. As for the editing, I've come across a lot of problems when I started out, which software to use and which is the best, how to edit, what's the perfect process, and where to store everything. So I'm gonna start out with a very basic thing. If you're just a beginner, please start out with something that you are comfortable with, that you maybe know or not, and don't overthink it. You don't have to use the most pro software like Adobe, for example, which isn't that daunting after all, as long as you get into it. Just use CapCut for the beginning, if that's the thing that you're most comfortable with. Or DaVinci, because I tried to learn all of them at once. I started out with with Premiere, then I switched to DaVinci because it said the color grading is so good, and honestly I never touched it up until a certain point. And then I went all the way back to CapCut because it was so convenient and I had to relearn everything over and over. Just take something which you're most comfortable with, and that reduces the friction of getting your idea, processing it, filming it, and getting it out. That's what you have to iterate all over and all over. The next thing is SD cards. So I personally use 200 gigabyte SD cards. One of them is currently in the camera because it is way easier to organize your files that way. And if for some reason the camera you format it or the SD card gets corrupted, you only lose one part of the whole thing. And I actually unfortunately had this happen to me, and I lost like the whole memories of South Korea, which I shot, and they were corrupted ultimately afterwards. So that's what I recommend, by using two smaller ones. And if you have a camera which has two SD card slots, which is even better, but if not, then just go with it and accept the fact that you just have to switch it out here and there. And if you use your iPhone, iCloud storage is the best. to expand, or maybe use an external SSD or HDD to provide yourself with more gigabytes. Nice, which is crucial. And if I have like different shoots throughout different days, it's gonna be very chaotic. So the very first thing I do after I finish a shoot is to put everything on my SSD and organize it. And the way I do it is very simple. So the way I organize my files is pretty simple. I create a folder, which we're gonna name after a project, how to vlog alive. And then within this folder, I'm gonna create the cameras that I shot in, Sony, an iPhone in my case. And also the sound, which is the DJI mic, because I record the sound internally, and then afterwards in DaVinci there's a feature which you can synchronize everything with. Then I'm gonna put everything in here, and then I'm also gonna separate with the different sections. For example, if I shot the first part, the intro, here, then it's gonna be part 1 intro, and then just the files down here. That's it. That's about how I organize my files. Now let's talk about some actual editing tips. Let's say you have your files organized, you know everything where everything is, so you just put the things on your timeline. So what to do? What I do is scrape through the footage. First of all, it takes time, but once it's done, it's better. Then it's done. Like, you don't have to do it again. I just put everything chronologically on the timeline and edit first the files, organize it, tell the story, then choose the right music, and then I just put down the sound effects, overlays, and last but not least, color grading, because my laptop won't take everything at once, obviously, anyway. But that's the workflow, which just helps me to really just create the backbone. And the important thing here is to repeat this workflow to get better at it. And do not scrape your for example, if you work in DaVinci or Premiere, your old footages and your sound effects, because it's gonna take a lot of time. The important thing is to create a workflow system that works for you to create a lot of videos at once. Since I've been creating Instagram short form videos as well, daily, I had to figure a system out for myself. So I have a short form file and a long form file where I have my music, sound effects, overlays, all at once with the right resolution. So I just put on the video that I want to edit and have everything at one spot. So it doesn't take me that much time to organize those things, which sound effects I want to use where. And this one really improved my workflow. Work smarter, not harder. Another very important and crucial aspect to keep the viewer's attention is pacing. But how do you create pace in your videos? Music and sound effects is a very good start, you know, helping to create this vibe and going with the video. Like, the viewer is really sucked into this video by creating like nice sound effects and knowing when to get higher with the music, slowing it down. But there's also a very simple and obvious technique, which I'm going to show you, but just one quick second. The weather is great today. It's quite cloudy, but still great. And yeah, so this is a great way to change the pacing by just changing the location and also just getting out of the house, which is also good. So now let's talk about SEO, titles and thumbnail. So yeah, title and thumbnail. One can go not without the other. They need to always harmonize in a way. And the best way to create a good title and thumbnail is to, you know, create curiosity and also make sure that you don't repeat what you have written in your title, also in the thumbnail if you have text. So if you have something like how to vlog your life in your title, you shouldn't put it also in your thumbnail, but rather put something like start here, or this is what you need now, or something like that. And what I also find that is very important is to, you know, use the face, your own face, to have your recognition of your channel, which is very important, so you can build trust and people come back to you as a person. So the most important thing though is to first think about the title and thumbnail before you even come up with the video. This is the hardest part in my opinion, because if you don't have a right title and thumbnail, nobody's gonna click on your video in the first place anyway. And it doesn't matter how much value you provide in the video or what's or not. If your title and thumbnail are not good enough, nobody's gonna watch it. And a good way to also check that is by looking into analytics. if you already have some videos out there, like what I look for is the CTR, like the click-through rate, if people are actually clicking on the video when it's showed to them, and also the average view duration. If your video, for example, after the first 30 seconds the drop-off is huge, then that means that your hook is not good enough. So these are some things that you can take a look out for to you know, get more views and eventually convert those views also into follower when you have the right value in it. I would say let's go back to the office and wrap up the last few points. So if you further want to elevate the user experience, there's a thing called timestamps. You probably have seen them already. It's like when there's a section in videos which has a name on it. And the way you can use those is to put them into the description. For example, you have an intro from second 0 to 20. Then you just write that in the description, 0 to 20, intro. And this section in the video will be timestamped, and the user will be known, okay, this is the intro, here's what's going on in the text. And I think it's just a good way, especially if you have long videos about like 10 minutes longer, I really recommend, because a lot of people appreciate it if you just put those timestamps in. It's not that much work, but ultimately it gives a lot of value back. The one thing that I've learned is it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's really just about doing it and just knowing there's the piece inside of you that you should know. Even though you're gonna doubt yourself a lot, which is happening to me all the time, is keep going with each video. You should be better at least 1%. And that's the goal, that's all that matters. If you ever would think, okay, my life is boring, I think that's what's so interesting and important, because who are we in our boring lives? That's who we are, like in our personal space when we are just bored and there is no party action going on, what's or not. And these are the times where you can stand out and try to make it actually your content and try to show the world that who you are. And there's a lot of skill required for that, so don't get discouraged by your boring life, rather try to get a different view on that. So that's it for the video. I really hope you liked it and could take something away from it. I'm constantly learning. Please let me know if you have any recommendations, questions, or anything, any feedback, you're welcomed. And yeah, that will be it. See you in the next one.